Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and we are the scouting staff for the Hula Bowl. Today, I have with me one of the athletes who participated in that event this season. His name is Trea Shropshire. He's a wide receiver out of UAB. Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you too.
Or nice to see you again, because I obviously saw you at the Hula Bowl. So, um, we really appreciated having you at the Hula Bowl, and I just kind of wanted to reach out to you so that we could do this interview, so more people can get to know you as a person and player. So why don't you kind of set the stage? Tell everybody where you're from, and then we'll just kind of go from there.
I'm from Louisiana. I'm from Baton Rouge. It's a little small area, but not big, but it's good enough for me.
Gotcha. So, I know a little bit of your story, but can you kind of walk me through a little bit of your journey as to how you actually got to Alabama, Birmingham?
Okay, yeah. After my high school year, my grades was really not that good, so I ended up going to JUCO. This is JUCO called Blenders in Texas, where Cam Newton won. I believe if you don't know that, but I ended up going there because of him and Cam Newton. Dede Westbrook, a receiver named Dede Westbrook. So I went there for my first year. I didn't really play so much, but then I started getting on the field my second year. So then after that, my grades are still bad, but I ended up pulling it up. Like when COVID hit, that's when we went back home. So that whole time, I just took the time to actually get to like focus on school and pick up my grades. And then that's when I called the coach from UAB, the receiver coach, and asked him, did I still need a receiver? And they said, yeah. So God still gave me opportunity.
And they basically said, "Hey, man, come to Birmingham. We're going to use you, and you're going to be one of our top receivers." So,
Yeah, they
um,
did.
it's kind of an interesting story there. So, yeah, like you said, I mean, some guys end up going the JUCO route because, well, quite honestly, uh, sometimes you need to get your grades up to par, and that's fine. But one of the biggest things that happens with JUCO, man, I feel, is it really tests you as to whether or not you truly love this game. So, I gotta ask, what is it that you love the most about this game of football?
I just love to be like this. When I'm on the field, I don't worry about nothing else but just playing football, just making plays and just giving people something they can do. Because I know, like, since I made it out of JUCO, that's really hard. Like you said, like making it out of JUCO is really hard. Like if you really love football or even basketball, whatever sport that you play, going to JUCO really it'll tell you that and it'll show you that like you actually love the game.
Yeah, and I
Like,
think during that time also, it kind of I don't know, stretches you as a person. And so I'm sure that was probably a time in your life where you grew like as a character, as a man. I mean, would you say similar? Can you, I don't want to necessarily put words in your mouth, but I mean that's what I hear from a lot of people that end up going that route. Because it isn't easy. So how would you answer that?
yeah, it is like that. It changes your character and it builds it up too. That's a good thing, honestly, because it's like is it you going home or you going to another school? So really, like a lot of people don't want to go back home, and I know they really care about football. So yeah, it builds your character up a lot.
Cool. So you end up getting yourself to UAB, where you ultimately were able to finish up your college career. Um, Tell me about UAB a little bit more, if you don't mind, for people that may not know the university very well. Why is it so special for you?
It was special for one because that was the only school that actually believed in me and took a chance on me for one. It was another reason it was special because the people around, and I wasn't the only one from JUCO around. There's a lot of people from JUCO, so they understand where I was coming from and they understand me, and I understand them. And I just like how everybody care about each other. Everybody want to work hard. It's a small school, but we could turn a lot of heads when we all lock in.
Yeah, and I mean, quite frankly, there's a lot of talent coming out of UAB, man. Some wide receivers too. So I mean, talk about those guys that you've been able to, I don't know, be teammates with over the years.
It was a blessing, honestly, especially the Wayne McBride and Telly Kadeem, all the offensive linemen and the receivers. There's a lot of receivers that nobody really know about, just like nobody knew about me when I went to UAB. But there's a lot of talent in the UAB, and I hope they get the chance to show it too.
Right. Well, obviously we tried our best to do our due diligence in scouting guys such as you. We saw you on the big stage, felt like we wanted to extend an offer and invite you down to the Hula Bowl, which is in Orlando, Florida. Um, Talk to me about that for you. I mean, when you got that call and everything, how'd that work?
Well, my agent set it up for me. He got a call. He said at the last minute that they wanted me and they wanted me to come down there in Atlanta to showcase my talent. So that was a blessing, honestly, especially to go against the people from different schools and better schools.
Yeah, and one thing that we really liked about you is you're very quick off the ball, and you just kind of know how to get downfield. I mean, you got great size to you, great length, and just felt like you would be an excellent target to throw to. So,
Appreciate it.
um, would you say that that was, I don't know, something that separates you as a prospect? I mean, what do you feel separates you from from all the other wide receivers out there?
A lot of receivers, well, we all expect small receivers to be quick, and just like people like my size and my height, really not as quick as the people that are small. So that separates me from them, and the fact that I can run. That's another reason that separates me from them.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I mean, we really, like that about you. That's why we wanted you down in Orlando.
Mhm.
So, just kind of want to talk to you about your Hula Bowl experience. When you came down to Orlando, I mean, I think you had one awesome play in the actual game itself, but other than that, talk about some of your personal highlights from that week.
Mm, One of them I dropped it. I wish I would have caught it, but the quarterback kind of threw it late. But it's not his fault because it still touched my hands. That was a good experience. Just going against DBs that's from a different, like Houston, LSU, Colorado State, UConn. That's just I never really played against no DBs like that. Honestly, that's a blessing. The plays that they drew up, it was kind of hard because we had to, like, once we got down there, we had to get in the playbook, which is a good thing because that's what they're gonna do in the league. So like it made me push myself to do more and believe in myself to do an impossible. So it was really an honor and a blessing to go against those people.
Yeah, and we had some decent activities for you guys. I mean, we
Yeah,
had a like a bowling tournament,
yeah.
a financial seminar, had a Hall of Fame dinner. Did you feel like you got a lot out of those things?
Yeah, I got a lot, especially from the Hall of Fame. I never really seen the Hall of Fame. That's my first time ever seeing people from the Hall of Fame. So yeah, that was a good thing.
Well, hey, we obviously have had some great players play in the Hula Bowl in years past. Obviously the game's been around since the late 40s, so a lot of people didn't know that. So we got some good guys, man, and can't wait for next season's Hall of Fame to come up. So, but one of the great things that you were able to do during that week is actually talk to some NFL scouts
Mhm.
for the very first time. Uh, how did that go for you, man? Give me a feel for that. Maybe as in maybe how many guys you actually talked to, and just how that experience went for you.
I talked to a couple, but I can't actually remember the teams. But that experience was very like I'm so blessed because just talking to them, even if I even get dropped late or I don't get dropped, just having a chance to talk to them is a blessing because a lot of people don't even do that. They even take it that far.
So what would you say, like 5, 10 teams
Oh yeah,
or
it's about 7 or 8.
7, 8? Hey, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
So, obviously, part of the reason why we're doing this is that hopefully, the rest of those NFL teams will get to know you as well. So,
yeah,
Um, Trey, obviously a lot of great memories, great moments throughout your career. When you think about everything that's transpired from JUCO to UAB and then ultimately at the Hula Bowl, what do you think you're going to take away the most when you look at the entirety of your college career? I mean, do you have like some great memories, some great moments, a great game, or even a great play?
yeah. Every time I touch the field, it's that's all the great players. I wanted to make every great play I can, but most of the players that I love so far is the one my first game at U not my first game, but The championship game against Marshall. That was a good game. That's one I'm always remember. The BYU touchdown that I had at the end. When we played in the Bahamas against Miami, Ohio, that's another game I'm always have in my head. Middle Tennessee, I set a record. I can't believe I even did that, but that's another. That's just a blessing. I'm gonna be honored to keep that. Like I go on my phone and I always watch videos just to remind me how blessed I am and what I did.
Well, cool. I mean, buddy, obviously you put together a lot of great highlights at UAB, which has really put you in the situation that you are right now. That being a legitimate NFL prospect. So just kind of want to give you a chance to wrap your mind around that, man. I mean, when someone says, "Hey, this Trey Shropshire guy," I mean, he might very well be in the NFL next season. How are you taking that? I mean, where's your head at when someone says that?
I'm blessed. And I just don't want to get too excited. I just want to focus because I don't want that let that I don't want to let that boost my head up. I just want to stay focused.
Well, hey, I mean, as it stands to date, you've actually already been drafted. You were drafted in the USFL for the Memphis Showboats, I believe. Talk about that, man. I mean, you got the opportunity maybe to play in the USFL if things in NFL don't work out. But hey, man, I mean, to say that you've already been drafted, what do you got to say about that?
That's a blessing too. It's good to have options. So if I don't get drafted, I can just fall back on that. That's really a blessing.
Well, hey, I mean, obviously the way that that works is they just kind of own your rights, and if something doesn't work out. But as it stands lately, man, I mean, some of these other leagues, I mean, they're really doing well. So, I mean, hopefully they continue to do well and give guys like you some opportunities. So,
Yes, sir.
um, so Trey, let's take a moment to not talk football for a little bit, so people can get to know you outside of it. Tell me something that maybe not everybody knows, something interesting, fun, whether it be hobbies or anything that you got, man. Give me something interesting to share with the people.
Mm, I like to I like to work out a lot. I mean, I bet a lot of athletes like to work out a lot. I like to play the game. I like to chill and just be around my girlfriend.
Well, that's good. Got to mention the girlfriend in this
Oh
piece.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. I got
we
to.
gotta do that. Give her a shout out. So, you a big movie guy?
Not so. I used to be, but not anymore.
Okay. I'm trying to dig for something else. So your hometown there in Louisiana, I have in my notes like what is it, Zachary, Louisiana, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if I were to come down to Zachary, Louisiana, and you and I would hang out somewhere, maybe go to a restaurant or something, where would we go, man?
We go to my football field. I said my football field, my high school. Check that out. It's pretty good. We also could go to walk-ons. I don't know. I know you heard of walk-ons, right? Oh, you never heard of walk-ons?
Yeah, man. Give me the story, man. I
Well,
want to hear it.
walk-ons is they got some good food. Like I wish you could come. And one day I hope we get a chance to go down there and have some good food. Most of really, you want to know some crazy? They always cook shrimp and crabs and stuff like that. You know, it's a big seafood place, and I'm allergic to seafood.
You're allergic to seafood.
Yeah, I'm
Really?
allergic. Yeah.
Well, damn, man, that kind of sucks. I mean, well, whatever. I mean, it's somewhat interesting to know. But if you're allergic to that and you can't eat that, what is the one go-to thing for you to eat? What's like
Either
that one? What is it?
hamburgers and fries, chicken tenders and fries, or just some pizza, something like that.
All
Something
right, all
good.
right. So obviously right now, man, I mean you're training, you're working towards that pro day. Where are you training at right now? And talk me through a little bit of your day to day these days.
I'm in Pennsylvania. We work out 6 days a week and we rest on Wednesdays. That's a good thing because all we're doing is putting our time and our work and the effort into what we got to do for pro day. So I really like
Gotcha.
that we're doing that.
What facility you at?
Gross for the city, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's all good, man. But obviously you're out in Pennsylvania right now, and you got that pro day coming up here soon. You have any personal goals, whether it be numbers or whatever, like whenever that pro day rolls around?
I want to get my 40 to a 4.3. It's a 4.4 right now, but I want it to be a 4.3 or lower. I want my vertical to be like 35 and above. My shoulders to be low as possible. I want to get it. A lot of people don't think I'm strong. I just want to show I'm strong on the bench too.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, it'd certainly be interesting. I mean, I want to say you were what, like 6'3", 185, I think last time
Mhm.
I talked to you. I mean, has that changed much
Oh yeah,
since?
I'm 193 now, almost to 195.
Gotcha. Well, hey, man, I mean, if you keep that weight up, I mean, I feel like that'll make you even more desirable as a prospect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you got a lot going on right now, and I guess that's next on the docket for you to complete in order to, get your name out there to all these scouts. One last thing before we wrap things up, I know you talked to a handful of guys at the Hula Bowl, but I want you to talk to all them other NFL teams right now and tell them why they need to take a chance on you, draft you, sign you, and bring you into their team. So go ahead and hit us with that.
I want them to take a chance on me because they're gonna get a receiver that never gives up. I also want them to know that I'm not the type of I don't be all in about. I don't go to parties. I don't do nothing. I just stay focused. And every day I come in to get better. I actually want to change my life in this, and I feel like I can. I want a lot of people to get better, including my teammates. So I don't want to be the only one to get better. I like to push them to believe in the things that they can't believe in, they can't do. I also like to push myself. I just want them to know that if they take a chance on me, that's gonna be the right choice for them.
Well, Trey, I definitely feel like you really set yourself apart at the Hula Bowl. If people haven't seen that yet, they can get on YouTube right now and they can watch you taking like that long touchdown pass. And really just I really love that, man. I was out there on the field when that happened for you, and just kind of been excited about watching you in your journey, and wish you very best of luck in this
Thank you.
process. All right.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, we got Trey Shropshire. He's a wide receiver out of UAB. Check this guy out.